Hello, witches, and welcome everyone to tonight's Witch Talk Live. So, I am so glad that you've joined me in the circle tonight because we are going to tackle one of the most anxious, inducing, confusing, and ultimately transformative parts of the craft, the signs that your magic is actually working. Because we've all been there. You spend days, maybe weeks preparing for a ritual, and you've gathered the perfect herbs. You waited for the perfect moon phase to sit in that exact sign that you've maybe carved, your candles out too, and you may have even poured your heart and soul into your petition. You snuff out your flame and you say, "So mote it be." And then you wait. And then suddenly your life starts to feel like a structural demolition site. So tonight we're going to talk about why that actually happens. We are talking about the magical, messy middle part, and that is the waiting. So the common misconception that if a spell is working, it should feel like a smooth golden path opening up before you, and it should happen immediately. We all want that. And sometimes it does. But the truth is that most often it's more turbulent because sometimes our spells don't show up the way that we expect them to. I've had spells show up within seconds. And no lie, I've shared this story more than a few times. I've had them show up within 15 minutes. And I've had my spells happen within 2 years. And I would sit back and think, is this even working? But the fact is that sometimes our spells don't show up the exact way that we think. We think that they should show up in a graceful way. We win the lottery and all of a sudden our money problems are done. We don't have anything anymore, right? But you might have to start a business in order for that money to come in. And that is part of your spell working to mature. So more often than not, I should say, your spells will bring chaos first. Now, we all know that sounds scary sometimes, but I want to shift your perspective on what chaos actually is. I'm a gray witch. I practice chaos magic. So I'm coming from a place of experience and the many times that I have seen the smooth sailing and the chaos part of my spells that happen. Okay, so think of the universe as a master architect. You've maybe asked for a brand new, beautiful mansion and you want it built on a lot where maybe you fell in love with, okay? But the universe doesn't just build your $1 million mansion. Sometimes maybe the location that you want, maybe there's already a house built on it. Maybe it's a demolition house and you need that house to be removed first before you can actually build on top of it. Maybe the land needs to be sold. So maybe that stuff needs to happen first before you can get your $1 million mansion. So you have to tear something down first. And that's where most people go through the panic cycle. They think that their spells are maybe backfiring because, or that you might be cursed. Oh my God, this is falling apart. Or, my car broke down or this is coming down. But that's not what's happening. What's actually happening is that the universe is removing anything that's in its path to get you exactly what your desired outcome is. So I'll give you another example. So let's say that you've asked for a career that fulfills you and pays you what you're worth. I'll say that again. Let's say you've asked for, so you're manifesting a career, okay, that fulfills you. I'm not sure if I said that right, so I'm saying it again, just to be clear. So let's say you've asked for it. So you've made a petition, you're doing a spell, and you're asking for a career that fulfills you and pays you exactly what you feel that you're worth. And let's say 2 days later, you get laid off or fired from the job that you're currently in. It's soul sucking. It's a desk type job. You didn't want it anyways. You might think that you failed or that your spell is a failure, but that's actually your spell in motion. And that's because the universe looked at your schedule and realized that you'd never have the time or the hunger to find that dream job as long as you were comfortable in that okay job. So it took the path of least resistance to get you to the path where you wanted to actually eventually be. And that might have caused a landslide. All of a sudden, all this stuff happened, and you're like, oh my God, I can't, how am I going to pay my bills? I don't have a job anymore. I just got laid off, or I just got fired. I don't know what to do. But maybe that needed to happen for you to spark an idea in your head on something that maybe you have not thought of before. Maybe it's a business idea. Maybe you're sleeping, maybe you're napping, maybe you're on a bus somewhere, or maybe you're driving somewhere, and out of nowhere, something pops into your mind that you need to start something. And maybe that moment would never have happened if you didn't lose your job, if you weren't desperate to find something that fulfilled you. And maybe that new business idea might take a bit to get to where you want. Maybe you're working first thing in the morning and until 8 o'clock at night, and you're constantly working. But maybe all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that takes off. Whatever your idea was, whatever it was that you wanted, takes off. And all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, I would never have done this. I would never have moved here, or I would never have taken a job over here because I was so fixed on this job that wasn't paying me what I wanted, that wasn't fulfilling my needs. I wasn't feeling needed. I wasn't feeling wanted. I wasn't feeling appreciated. I wasn't feeling that I was getting paid worth what I thought that I was worthy of getting paid for. So did your spell fail, or did it get rid of the one thing that was standing in your way and made you realize, oh my God, I would never have done this idea if I didn't do this. I would never have taken this leap of faith or been on the bus to meet this person. Maybe you're in a coffee line and you're ordering a coffee, and it was just the way that you handled a situation. Maybe something was stressful in that situation and you handled it with grace, and somebody watched you from behind and said, I loved how that person handled that situation. They might not have any experience in this, but I'm going to give them a shot because I think they'd be excellent for that. Do you know how many people have started their careers over just something as simple as that, being at the right place at the right time? The universe is working for you. It is getting rid of the things that are in your way. And sometimes we are the biggest issue. So we're not failing. Our spells aren't, you got to remember, the universe isn't malicious, but it is relentless. It will clear the debris. It will end the toxic friendships, and it will break the habits that stand between you and your manifestation. Now, however, I don't want you to think that magic is always a wrecking ball. It's a common fear in the community that every time we cast, that we're going to lose something precious. This isn't the case. The desired outcome does not always show up to destroy your life or anybody else's. Magic is not a zero-sum game where someone has to suffer for you to succeed. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes the signs are incredibly pleasant, quiet, and unexpected. And you might cast a spell for love and then suddenly find that you're having the most vivid, beautiful dreams that leave you feeling energized. So you might, those are the little things that will come into your energy when you release the expectation of how your life is supposed to go based on the spell that you did. Like you might find a copper penny on the ground every day for a week. Or you might get a random phone call from somebody that you haven't talked to in years who just happens to have the answer to the problem that you've been mulling over. These are all winks from the universe. These are all signs that that our energy is being shifted and that our gears are turning in our favor without the need for a total overhaul. But don't control it. Your path is already clear. The magic just needs to slide right into the place. It's kind of like a piece of the puzzle. It's beautiful. Let it flow into. A lot of people love working on puzzles because it gives them something to think about other than their day. And there's going to be a piece of the puzzle that might just not fit. Doesn't mean that you have all the pieces. You have all the pieces of your puzzle, but maybe that one's not going there because you haven't found the one that goes before it. These are just all ways of shifting your energy to think that something bigger, like think about, let's say the lotto. Okay. We just had our lotto in Canada. It was for the Lotto Max was 75 million. Somebody won it, one person. I don't know who it was. But you don't buy a lotto ticket not to win. You buy a lotto ticket to win something, right? But imagine if you came into that money. There's a lot of steps that you would have had to take before you can get your money all settled, before you bring that in. And it doesn't just show up like that. Sometimes it has to show up in a way that you're ready for it, because maybe if you're 20 years old winning the lottery, you're going to spend all of it in a weekend. Maybe if you're 80 years old, you don't have time to spend all of it. Maybe you do. So all the pieces of the puzzle are there, but don't expect it to come in the way that you want it to. Don't expect it. Allow yourself to flow, because if you don't, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. That's the best way I know how to explain it. It's if you do something, let it go, and it comes back, then it was meant for you. Like it was meant for you. I said that a little weird. More like a Canadian version. I don't know. That was totally not. But our spell work is always manifesting in the best way possible. Now, one thing that I do when I do my spells, and this might help you guys with your spell work, okay, to let things go. Maybe you have a hard time of wondering how things are going to come about or how things are going to manifest for you. But I kind of look at it as, I don't want to say a game. I get excited. I like to see where it all shows up. I keep myself open to the possibilities. I listen for the words that I might be hearing on repeat. Maybe it's numbers that I'm seeing on a regular basis. Maybe it's a conversation that I've overheard that just caught my attention enough that sparked something in my head to think, yeah, I think that's it. But if you just and I know easier said than done. I know it's so easy to sit there and just say, yeah, I'm just going to let it go, especially if you're in a position that you need finances. But I've had opportunities show up out of nowhere. Sometimes they come in just quickly because they were only meant for maybe a quick fix. Maybe that's all it was for. Maybe it's a stepping stone for something bigger. Maybe it's, who knows? But I never doubt my intuition. I allow myself to have fun with it. Don't put pressure on myself. See how it might show up. Let go by involving myself in a meditation or crossword puzzles, something to get my mind off of things. I like to play a game at night just to get my mind off of things. It could be any game, it could be crosswords, it could be solitaire, it could be just, and that's sometimes the weirdest place that I get information. I'd be like, really? You're going to come in at this time? But that is how you know that the universe is working for you, is that you allow it to flow. And I usually say in my spells, and this is something that you might want to try, is I just say this or something better. No harm to none. How do I say it? I'm just trying to think of the exact words I usually use. It flows off my tongue when I'm just doing the spells, but I'll just say, may no harm be to none. This or something better. Allow this to show up the way that I need it to be for all the best of intentions for all involved. That's how I say it. Something on those lines. This is to be the best of intentions for all involved. So if it's not for my best and highest good, if it is not aligned with my higher self or who I'm surrounding myself with, then either it's going to get rid of the people that I'm surrounding myself with that is not in alignment with me, or it's going to clear the way in something else, or it's going to attract me to something in a different way. I will see the signs. And that's what I follow. And I have always told you guys to do the exact same thing. If you follow your guidance, as crazy as it might sound, do not doubt that, because you don't know, unless you know what your yeses are, unless what you know what your no's are. If this is something that feels good and feels aligned, go for it. It might sound crazy, but you don't know until you try. And then what if you did try and it is exactly what you want? Sometimes we're looking for a job that we think that we want, but maybe we're best suited in something else. And if you're adding that to your spells, if you're saying, I want this for the best of everybody involved, no harm to none, the best for everybody involved, whatever aligns with my true higher self, my most authentic self, my most abundant self, however you want to say it. And that right there, your spells, all they need is belief, intention, and your imagination. That is from a chaos perspective. If you start going, and this is totally up to you guys. I am not Wiccan. Just so you guys know, I do not consider myself any type of religious witch. I'm spiritual, yes, but I do not consider myself Catholic, Buddhist, atheist, Christian, anything like that, because I just follow my guidance. I do not pick Wiccan because there might be more structure in that. Chaos is not about structure. There can be structure, there can be grounding. Don't ever think that just because you work with chaos magic that it must be chaotic. No. The chaos part comes from being able to see the magic in everything that you pick up and not doubt it. You only have a piece of paper. You only have a pen. Guess what? You can create yourself a spell. You don't need all the fancy stuff. I told you that last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. But I say that because from a chaos witch perspective, you don't need all the tools. You just need your belief. And that is enough. I've had I've shared this plenty of time. I'm not going to share it again, but I've told you, I've had spells that have instantly have happened. And I sit back and think, oh my Jesus, how did that happen so quickly? That's because I had all my energy, belief, intention, and I went with it. Oh, I'm going to do a money spell. Well, I'm going to grab green candle because I look at that as being green, money flow, abundance, wealth. That's what I see. If I don't have green, I might grab a gold. I might grab a yellow. I might just grab white. If I don't have any of that, I might grab black because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I have. It's my intention that I'm putting into it. Okay, so I've got a black candle. I'm going to look at that as my Lilith goddess. That's who I'm going to intend the spell for. This is what I'm going to bring. This is her energy. So this is my fire. Now I'm going to bring my paper. This is how I'm going to do it. I don't have a paper. Oh, I'm going to grab a bay leaf. Hold that bay leaf. Put all of your intentions and might. Burn the leaf. There's your spell. Don't make it complicated. To get a six-figure job, for instance, or get your $1 million home, you just have to believe. But you can't sit on your ass and expect it to come to you. It's not how whiz spells work. You've got to see the signs. You've got to jump on the opportunities. And this is where some of us get tripped up a little bit, because sometimes if you're so vague with your magic, if anything, the reason why your spells might not be coming true or taking some time is maybe you are looking for the shortcuts. Maybe you're asking for money without being specific. And maybe you get a small insurance settlement because you got into a fender bender. So technically the spell worked and you got money back, but you had unnecessary chaos in between that could have been avoided if you had specified abundance through positive and joyful channels, or money that comes to me with ease and grace. One thing that I would say is I'm a money magnet. Money flows to me easy and effortlessly. I find money in every opportunity that comes my way. Abundance is around me. Prosperity is around me. It follows me. It attaches its energy to me. It loves to grow with me. That's all. And you got to believe it. You got to believe. You can't say these words and then say, well, didn't work. I just did the spell. And 5 minutes later, you're expecting that a door is going to open for you. It's not how it's going to work. You've got to ask, for instance, okay, if you want a new home, don't just ask for a move. Ask for a move into a larger space that's affordable, that brings you peace, that brings you closer to work, that brings you closer to family, that has a park nearby, that has no stairs, that gets specific. It's like being a surgeon. Don't forget the details, because if you forget the things that you don't think matter, maybe that's the heart of it. So by being clear, you provide the universe with a blueprint, and you're saying, here's my destination. This is what I want. And this will prevent those tower moments from happening. So if you feel like you're constantly in a chaotic spin with your spells, it might be because you're not being intentional enough. Don't be afraid to ask the universe exactly what you want, but be open to the possibilities of it coming in from an inheritance. Let's say that you're asking for money. Don't just ask for money. I've learned this from a friend. Don't ask for money, ask for prosperity, because money is one form. It's money. Prosperity, wealth, abundance, riches, that all represents more of something, where money just is focused on one thing. So keep that in mind. I remember doing, and I've said this a few times before, I'm sure you guys might have heard this, okay, that I did a money spell. And I wasn't specific. I asked for money. I went for a walk, and out of nowhere, on my walk, I'm doing my meditation, and out of nowhere, I found I think it was $120 in Monopoly money because I wasn't specific enough. I asked for money and they made a joke about it. They gave me money, but it was fake money. Crisp bills. I have no idea where they came from. It was the only ones on the trail. 3 crisp bills of Monopoly money. Universe, I don't know. But it made a point. Right. I asked for money. I didn't specify real money. That's where we need to make sure that the energy that we're putting out there is bringing in exactly what we need. And we do need to be specific. So don't be afraid of getting down the details. But understand with all of those details might take a little longer. Not necessarily, but it might take a little longer because there might be more involved. Remember, when you're doing, let's say you're doing a lottery spell, you got your green candle, maybe it's a gold candle you're using because you want to look at it as the riches, right? And then you put a little bit of money oil on it, put a little bit of basil, we put some cinnamon because we want it to come in quick. We put nutmeg on because that brings in like wealth from gambling and luck in other areas. And that money comes in, but it comes in an inheritance. Maybe one of your elders passed away and you were not expecting it to come that way. But it did come. So we don't, and don't ever think that you cast somebody to die in order for that money to come in. That's not what happened. It just happened because you were open to other ways of finances coming in. And one of them just happened to be an inheritance. One of them might be a windfall. Who knows? Maybe it's a court battle. Maybe it's a lawsuit of some sort. Maybe you're owed hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars from something that you've been patiently waiting for. Who knows? But don't put an expectation on. There won't be any disappointment. You can always add. Those things are going to take longer. Those spells aren't going to be an instant because, and this is where I was trying to go with it, and I lost track. If you're putting it out for winning the lottery, who else are you up against? There's a lot of other people going up against that lottery, right? There's not hundreds of thousands of people who win it. It's one person, maybe 2, maybe a group of people, but more than likely that lottery is not coming to multiple people. So the expecting it from a windfall is highly unlikely, not impossible. So that's why we want to keep those areas, all areas, open when we do our spell work. Okay. Now, if you do feel that your life feels a little bit messy, I don't want you to assume that something is wrong with your spell. I don't want you to automatically think, oh my God, my spell must have gone wrong. Something must have happened. Nope. Take a deep breath. And I want you to look at what the mess is. Okay. And then I want you to ask yourself, is it actually clearing a path? Is it removing people that don't maybe support you? Let's say you won the lottery. I'm just using the lottery as an example because a lot of people try for the lottery. A lot of people, if somebody does win the lottery, let's face it, a lot of people end up lining up behind you, wondering where their cut is. All of a sudden, maybe old friends from the past show up, maybe old family looking for a handout. You don't know. But these are things that happen. So maybe before this happens, it's clearing out the people that aren't meant to go with you because maybe those people are going to steal from you. Maybe those people are going to take advantage, betray you in some way. Maybe you need to remove those people because they're not really friends. And maybe it's forcing you to stand on your own 2 feet. So if the answer is yes, and you're wondering whether or not nothing is wrong, okay? Your magic is working. Yes, your magic is working. It is doing the heavy lifting for you. Trust the universe that they know the shortest route to your happiness, not necessarily the quickest. And meaning that they're taking the short route by removing the things that's necessary, not taking the one that's going to cause the most damage. Because there's 2 kind of quick route, and then the short route is actually going through your things, taking the necessary steps, and not dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You don't want to miss that step, right? You don't want to be so busy bracing the storm that you miss the rainbow that's been forming in front of you. Because your intentions are clear. If your heart is clear, then your magic is moving. Just wait. You can't expect it to just happen overnight, guys. Please understand that we sometimes can be impatient. And sometimes we have to just get out of our own way and realize that if we're not seeing our spell taking off right away, then maybe you got to tweak a few things. I had to do the same thing. Every time that I do these lives, I have to remind myself in the direction of where I'm going, what my destination is, what my plan is. And that has always been just to build a community of like-minded people, like-minded witches that want to gather, talk about their magic, and understand that we don't have to follow a book. That your magic does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be step-by-step process and everything is right. I have stopped things before and redid them because I missed something, and I never once skipped a beat. So I want you to keep that in mind. So all you have to do is just keep your intentions clear, your heart true, your magic moving forward, and all you have to do is stay on the course, because that is where you're going to get. That's where the path is going to clear. That is where your chaos is transformative. And that's where the magic happens. And when you start seeing that, your spells will become quicker. Some of them don't. Like I said, I've had spells that have taken 2 years to happen. 2 years. And that felt like a long time. But it is what it is. And then when you see it go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Holy geez, that's coming in. Wow. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to let it do its thing. Because if I don't, I'm just going to delay it even more. So whatever. That's what it's about. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you all. May your paths always be clear and your intentions be smart and your chaos be transformative. I'm going to look to my phone and see if you guys have any questions. So if you have any, please let me know. I've got a couple of minutes and then I'm going to let you guys go. So I see J Star. I see Manny. I see, who do I see? Katie, Stephen. Hello, everybody. If I haven't seen your name, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to go through my phone. I don't always see them. But say hi if you're here. I appreciate you guys all. Oh, Sage's Aura, I see you as well. Thank you for being here. Where's Sherry? Sherry's usually here and she's not here tonight. Amy too. But you guys are all beautiful. And if you have any questions, make sure that you let me know in the comments below whether or not there's something that you guys want to learn, something that you want to hear. If there, and hey, let me know. I've got new lights going on here. And I got a new microphone. Can you guys hear me more clearly? I hope you guys can. If you can, my little laugh there. But yeah, if you guys have, let's do a spell together. Okay, shoot me some ideas. Are we doing money spell together? What are we doing? Let's bring it all together. Let's put all of our energy into this. And I agree, Manny, this is a great idea because we are all beautiful witches. I think that can we close with the blessing at the end for tonight? Sure. Do you want me to? I've got some cards here. I was going to shuffle some cards. I was thinking of adding that too. Maybe, what do you guys think? Adding some messages at the end of. I'm just checking to see what cards I have out. I didn't come prepared, I don't think. Did I? There we go. Oh, I'm feeling this one. There we go. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with a message, okay? That all of you guys need to hear. I have no idea. I have not used these cards in quite some time. And yes, if there is something that you guys want to hear or see, let's discuss it. Let's chat it up. Put your ideas in the comments below of what you want to see. But yeah, if you're good with me doing a card reading at the end, maybe we'll add that, okay? Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, I'm feeling this one. Okay, the calm. I breathe, live, and grow the light within me. I do one thing at a time and focus on the present moment. I cast off my doubts. All fear dissipates, and I find peace in my being. That is the message for today. And I will grab one of my other messages here just to add, because I still feel like this needed to come out. That's why I grabbed them. I was thinking of doing tea lights. Oh, breakthrough manifestation spells. Do remove obstacles. Yeah, we can do that for sure. Okay, so let's see. Intuition. Trust your intuition and know that what seems logical may not necessarily be right. The answer to your question lies inside your heart. Endless possibilities exist for you. So stop trying to work it all out and feel your way through. We, your angels, will guide you. Trust your feelings. What feels right is right. Kind of like what we were talking about with spell work tonight, right? Just go with your flow. Do not worry about those books. Your best spell comes from within. That's where you get inspiration. You're being guided to do that. Yeah, we can give me a list. You can tell me in the chats below here. Let's do maybe I'll take a poll and post that to the news feed on YouTube, and you guys can let me know which ones you guys want to see. That might be an option. That way you guys can do a poll and we can always take one. And if we don't do one this time, then we can do it the next one. Kind of like that, right? But I love you guys all. Give me some suggestions. I always love to do that. And yeah, let's start doing some magic together. Let's start making that work, right? Anyways, home protection spell. Yes, we can make magic witches balls. I have some of those. Anyways, beautiful witches, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Let me know in the comments below whether or not you like my new mic, whether or not you can see me better, if you can hear me better, anything like that. The feedback always is appreciated. Whoopsie. Always is appreciated. Look at my little mic. It's so cute. I'm all excited. But anyways, guys, I will talk to you later. Love you all. Ciao for now.